In this video, we're going to be reviewing the WWE Ultimate Edition Series 24 Bray Wyatt figure. Now, this figure is a long time coming, man. We've been waiting on this figure for such a long time, it feels like. It was announced, then it got postponed, along with some other Bray Wyatt figures, and now finally today we do have it in our hands. We're going to review this thing, man. And woo-wee, man, I feel like I've been run over by a truck. So bear with me to get through this review here today. I'm dealing with the flu as we speak, and my goodness, I am feeling it today, man. So leave a like on the video just for powering through the review. But today, we're getting this Bray Wyatt figure based off of the Pitch Black match, which is pretty cool because I was actually front row for this matchup. It was LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt, San Antonio Royal Rumble 2023, and Bray Wyatt actually threw LA Knight right into my lap. So I do have a sentimental tie to this figure. And as soon as he came out at the Royal Rumble looking like this, I was like, oh man, they got to make this in figure form, and we finally have it here today. But if you guys want to grab this figure, you can do so over Ringside Collectibles. Use promo code MD Toys to save yourselves 10%. But pretty good men on card shot here. You do have kind of the interchangeables. It's kind of a 2-in-1, right? You have the dark light or the black light look, and then you do have the regular skin tone and stuff like that, which we're going to get into all my feelings on this figure in general. But there's the front viewing window. You got Bray Wyatt up top. This is actually our third Bray Wyatt Ultimate Edition, and technically if you want to say this is the Fiend, well then I guess we have 3 Fiends, and I guess, I don't know, you can let me know, is this the Fiend? Does this count as the Fiend? But on the side we do have a shot of Bray Wyatt, and then on the back we do have some shots of Bray Wyatt from that Pitch Black match. So that is the packaging for this figure. You guys know that the mainline WWE Ultimate Editions always have the white border with the red accents. But with that being said, man, let's go ahead and crack Bray Wyatt out of the packaging and find out what this Ultimate Edition Series 24 Bray Wyatt is all about. So here's our Ultimate Edition Bray Wyatt figure out of the packaging, man, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here. You know, I do have my own gripes with it, which we'll get into, and it's something that I think they just struggle with Bray Wyatt, which we'll dive into completely throughout the video. But we will, of course, discuss all of those things as we break it all down, man. But you guys know how these work. We're going to run through the accessories you get with the Ultimate Edition Series 24 Bray Wyatt, and then we'll run it back and take a closer look at the Bray Wyatt action figure itself. So let's dive into it. So getting into the accessories you get with Bray Wyatt, man, you do get, I mean, it's honestly a little bit light, you know, when you compare other Ultimate Edition. You do have interchangeable arms, you do get 3 interchangeable head sculpts, but no cloth goods, no championship belt, so the accessories are a little scarce when it comes to this Ultimate, and some of the accessory options are kind of weird, which we'll get into. But let's start things off with the head sculpts. We do have this brand new smiling head sculpt with the face makeup around the eyes, and I like the likeness here. I like the beard sculpt a lot as well. It looks really, really good. I like the beard shape and everything. Hair sculpt is very nice, and we're getting 3 brand new head sculpts on this guy, so no reuse, which is really awesome, and I'm sure we'll probably get some of these head sculpts re-released on other figures, I'm sure, down the road. But they look pretty good, man. I like the beard. I like the tattoos on the back of the neck. The dreads look good, or the braids look good. Paint apps are looking good. Pretty nice. Pretty nice overall. I like this head sculpt. Now, we also have the masked head sculpt. I do believe this is a masked head sculpt, and I like this one as well. The likeness isn't as good, I don't think, but I know he is wearing a mask, right? So, I mean, he's wearing a mask, you know, but I do like the details going on right here. Nice paint apps going on. I like the ombre into the hair. You can lift all this up as well. You get the mask sculpt going around the back of the head. Just a really nice sculpted mask. I really liked his head sculpt. I think for the most part they did a good job here. I'm not finding any, you know, issues with this head sculpt. I like this head sculpt a lot, and I like the details throughout. And last but not least, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same head sculpt. Oh, pretty sure this is the exact same head sculpt. They just repainted it, so we're not getting 3 brand new sculpts, but this is brand new painted. So you do have the blue in the back, which I really like. You have all the face paint with the black light going around. You get the white details in the beard. You have the 6 on the side right there, which I think is cool. Pretty damn sweet, man. I'd like to know down in the comment section below if you like the black light version or you like the regular skin tone version. I think on the figure itself, I feel like the black light version would look better because the neck is in black light or that blue color, but who the hell am I? And then what would Bray Wyatt be without his signature lamp? So we do have the lantern right here, which we have seen this sculpt before. It's not a brand new sculpt or anything. It's kind of like a bronzy goldish color. You have the light in there as well. It's reflective. You get a little bit of articulation right here, which is pretty cool, but I'm glad they included this. I like this a lot. Really nice lantern accessory right here with Bray Wyatt. And then we do have his 2 different interchangeable arm functions here. You have the skin tone version, and then we do have the black light version. And one thing I really like about the right side right here is we have these brand new sculpted hands that have all of this detail sculpted in here. So the gloves and the wrist tape and everything is actually sculpted onto the hand, which I really like. These are brand new sculpt. But one thing that's weird about these is you don't get 2 mic holding hands. So you don't get mic holding hands. This is your mic holding hand for this side. And then the same thing on this side is you don't get 2 mic holding hands. You get this, you know, kind of joking, playing around hand sculpt with the hand tape and everything, and then you get just a regular mic holding hand on the other side. But these do look really good, and I think it's really easy to interchange. You know, you just come over here, plop that in, you come on this side and plop that in, then you're like, oh, I'm done with that, and then you just simply pop this out, pop out the other side, and then you would pop in your black light arms. But These blacklight arms are very interesting because they don't really have any of the tattoos. They just have the body paint on there, and it makes it look like blacklight. Now, I do wish that I had a blacklight for this review to see how the figure looks under blacklight, because I don't think we've seen that just yet. If I had a blacklight, I would love to test it. However, it is still pretty cool to have this. You have the body paint in there, and you know, you have the skulls on the hands and everything like that. I think they did a good job here with the body paint, the blacklight, and the interchangeable arms. And then for interchangeable hands, you do have the wide open entrance style hands, and then on the right side, he does have that sculpted hand tape, and then he has, you know, it's no longer painted on. They actually sculpted the stuff onto the hands, which is very nice. And then same thing with the blacklight hands. It's the same deal. So they did sculpt on the actual sculpt and then painted them differently for the blacklight hands. So you get the same hands, just painted differently for skin tone and then blacklight. So getting into Bray Wyatt, man, starting out at the top of the head sculpt, we do have this new smiling head sculpt that we already took a look at. And when I see this head sculpt, I immediately think of Bo Dallas. I don't know why it looks just like him. It's almost like they're related or something. But in all seriousness, I do like this head sculpt and everything like that. Going down into the torso, I do believe this is all brand new sculpt. I don't think any of this is reuse. It does look a lot like the Burnt Fiend. It looks like some of the other Fiend figures we've seen. But I do believe this is brand new sculpt. This is brand new sculpt. You have these belts and buckles and layers sculpted on here. The butterfly joints have some sculpt in there as well, which I really like. I think all of this looks pretty damn good for the most part. I like the way that the buckles and the straps and everything are sculpted in here. And I think it really helps the figure, because if it were just flat or something like that, then it would really hurt the dimension and things of that nature with the figure. But going down into the crotch piece, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Look how flat it is. I just feel like that throws it off. And even if it's accurate, it just really adds to a boring sculpt. You do have a couple wrinkles sculpted right here, and then we do have the legs here, which I do believe are brand new. I don't think these are reused, but you can see they look very, very similar. They do look very, very similar to the previous Fiend figures. And even in the boots, man, you have the straps and the buckles and everything like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to get into the comparison so you can see, but I just feel like they make him too frumpy. But getting into the articulation with this figure, it is just a ball joint right here. I really wish we could get a double ball joint. So like a ball joint with then a peg and then a ball joint at the other end, or a ball hinge. Either one would really do wonders for these figures. That way they could hold positions and get more range of motion. But you can see the blue neck is covered up unless you change, you know, you switch them over to the side or turn them to the side there. But the arms go above 90 right there. You do get the butterfly joints here, which I find are a little bit stiff. They don't have like a ton of range of motion, and they keep popping out right there. It's not like super loose or anything, but I don't know. The range of motion right there on the butterfly joints isn't the best of all time. Diaphragm movement is not the best moving forward, but you guys know that Ultimate Edition torsos just don't really give you a lot there. They leave a lot to be desired. Tight waist right here on the waist swivel. He can kick forward pretty decent, you know, not the most intense kick forward of all time. He does have the drop down hips there, so you can get him looking all the way out. You can do that right there. You just always want to be careful putting that back in position, but you do have upper thigh cut, double jointed knee there, and then we do have boot cut. Get a nice ankle pivot there, and then you do get the toe articulation. It looks like this guy is on the old articulation for the ankles, probably because this figure was canceled, and then, you know, so he never got the updated tech. But let's get into some Bray Wyatt figure comparisons. So for your Bray Wyatt figure comparisons, we do have all three Ultimate Editions in the middle. You have the first released Fiend Bray Wyatt, you have the second released Fiend Bray Wyatt Ultimate, and then we do have the Series 24 here in the middle, obviously. Then we have a throwback Fiend Elite here. I think that's the top picks version, and then we do have the Elite 92 Burnt Fiend. And just look how small he looks, man. I just don't like how small or frumpy he looks. I wish that they could make him taller or just add some length to his thighs or his lower legs or something so that he doesn't look so frumpy lumpkins. He just looks so short and stubby. I don't know, I feel like that would really improve these figures, especially for Bray Wyatt. But then I also want to plug in the blacklight arms and head sculpt so you can see what that looks like in comparison. And I think at the end of the day, I like the blacklight version better. I just think it's, like, look how much taller he stands. I feel like he stands a little taller, or maybe it's just an optical illusion. But I really dig the way the blacklight version looks, and it matches the matchup the most, right? So I think the blacklight version looks better in my opinion. Now, will I ever buy a second version so I could have a non-blacklight version, a regular version? Maybe, you know, paint the neck on surgery or something like that so you could have both versions, but I'm really digging the blacklight version. I think the blacklight version looks much better in my opinion. You can let me know what you think of that down below. And then for another comparison, I do want to bring in the Ultimate Edition Series 23 LA Knight here so that we can see, you know, what this guy looks like up next to him. And these look pretty good up next to each other. I know this gear is not based on the blacklight batch or anything. He had like some neon gear on though that would have been really cool, but I appreciate the blacklight Bray Wyatt. I really like the blacklight version a lot more than the regular version. But I think that about wraps up our WWE Ultimate Edition Series 24 Bray Wyatt action figure review. Bear with me, man. I apologize. I do not have a photo gallery for this figure. You know, I didn't get to do a photo shoot. I just feel so bad, man. I really do. So I do apologize. I don't have the gallery in this review. Maybe we could swing by. Maybe we can swing back by, and hopefully in the next few reviews over the next week or so, I'll be back to full strength. I'll actually be able to get those photo galleries up for you guys, because I know that you guys enjoy those at the end of the reviews. So bear with me, man. I do apologize. But at the end of the day, let's start off with the positives of this figure, and then we'll move on to the things I don't like. I think that having a pitch black match Bray Wyatt is very cool. I think it's a nice idea. I think that the execution of the figure isn't the greatest. I just think that he looks so stumpy. They continue to make Bray Wyatt too stumpy, and I really can't describe it. But he's supposed to be, what, 6'3", 6'4"? And his legs always look so short and stumpy. Every single Bray Wyatt that we get is too short, it seems like. So that's one of my biggest gripes with the figure. I think he does feel really good in hand. I think that he's a very cool action figure. I think the head sculpts are solid. I think the accessories are cool. You don't get a whole ton of accessories, but I do like the blacklight inclusion. However, I do know that, you know, the neck, that's going to be the biggest thing, is he remains with a blue neck no matter what look you go with. So if you have the skin tone face and the skin tone arms, well, your neck is still going to be blue, and I can see where that would be annoying. But if you can ignore that, I mean, I think the figure still looks really, really good. I like the new hair sculpts. All three of these head sculpts are brand new. I do think this is a repeat or a reuse arm mold, which I do enjoy. I'm glad that they use these arms instead of just standard skinny arms. And I do like a lot of the sculpts going on this figure. I just don't think it's a home run release. I think there are some details and just some things that are lacking with this figure. Even though I do like it, I just wish he wasn't so stumpy, man. And I think that's really what it comes down to. Still like the figure. Still think he poses well. Still think you get a lot of good details. Really cool sculpts and things. But I don't know. It's not my favorite figure ever. But I am happy to have this in figure form, you know. Sitting front row, getting to see this, being that close to Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. That is cool for sure. But I don't know. I don't hate the figure. I don't know if it's going to be one of the top Ultimate Editions this year. You know, I think that remains to be seen. We'll have to, you know, play that by ear, see how it goes. But it's a fun release. I had fun with it. And I think that you guys, if you're Bray Wyatt fans, you will also enjoy this figure. But nonetheless, man, that's pretty much going to wrap up the review. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know all of your thoughts on this figure down in the comment section below. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? I'd love to know all those things down in the comment section below. But I appreciate you guys. I'm getting the hell out. Huge shout out to our Patreon members, man. Appreciate you fellas so very much, man. I'm about to go lay down, man. Good Lord. I want to go back to sleep. These lights are so damn bright. But anyways, man, I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so very much. Leave me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.